I'm pretty shocked. All of this is pretty shocking. It's even a bit hard for me to get organized to make a good video for you guys. I'd need a few days sleeping in here to see everything. I've already taken a look around the hall and it's really impressive. I only looked from the outside. Imagine if we opened the car doors to look inside. Then it takes a lot of time. I hope you guys can enjoy this video. I wanted to thank Rubio once again for allowing us to use the footage and for welcoming us here as well. Thanks to Andre for bringing me here, organizing everything so I could visit and share this video with you. And not only visit, but also bring this video here for you. I'm going to show everything there is, and some things will go by a little quickly. Others I'll stop to show in more detail. I'm really happy. This is almost a professional achievement for me. And personally, to be able to be here and show this to you, man, it's amazing. The first thing that really caught my attention here today was the extreme originality of the cars. Everything here is very original. There are no customized cars, no lowered cars, no different wheels. That's very shocking. And then the first idea that came to my mind was this. We see a car and say, wow, that's gangster. Now, for me, a gangster car is an original one. Completely original. Especially those from the 50s and 60s. That whole mobster thing, you know. Man, that's really crazy. I'm a different person from today on. I'm screwed. Now I have to keep everything original. Andre, I'm not sure how to thank you.
Thank you for being here, Lucas.
No, man, thank you for bringing me here.
Feel free for us to take a look at some special models.
That's awesome. Andre, what's your relationship with Ruby and the collection?
We're friends, right? Our families are friends. My connection started with his sister, who's friends with my parents. And then we ended up meeting each other still as kids. And since then, cars, the passion for classic cars ended up bringing us closer. And it's been a few years now that we've been together sharing ideas.
Look how cool, guys. Andre found out that I wanted to come, that I would like to come. He contacted me and said, I'm going to make it happen. One day we'll go there, and we tried several times, right, Andre?
It wasn't easy, no. Yes, it wasn't until we coordinated our schedules, right? The dates, right? Yours, you had your accident too, right?
Yes, exactly. Andre, you already know a lot about the cars here, so can you show us some interesting things?
Yes, let's go. We'll start with this 1931 Mercedes. Now, this car at the time, Mercedes was selling the idea of a car that wouldn't overheat, right? Back then, cars would overheat, right? Take this Fiat model, for example. You always had this thermometer here to show the temperature. These cars would always stop because of overheating.
Did it already overheat back then?
It already overheated.
Whoa, man. It was worse than Ford and Maverick, right? And in Germany, nothing against the Fords and the Mavericks.
And in Germany, just imagine, in Germany, you already had a car like this from 1931 with a concept. That was different in terms of aerodynamic coefficient, ground clearance, even the engine design itself. I'll show you here. It's a car that has a lower engine, right? And they put the temperature gauge inside the engine just to demonstrate the reliability of the project.
It wasn't even inside the cabin?
It wasn't inside. They put it here so you wouldn't need to check the temperature, right? A 6-cylinder inline engine, and it was an icon in its time, right?
Andre, everything's well taken care of here, right?
Here it's cleaning, car maintenance. Here everything is done step by step. That is, if we come here and put in gas and a battery, of course, making some adjustments. The car is already ready to use, right?
Wow, that's awesome. Look at the Interlagos here, right, Andre?
That's cool, right? Well, we have 3 Interlagos here. You have this blue one here, the Bellinetta, which is the copy, let's put it that way, of the Renault Alpine. You have the convertible. And the coupe, which is the silver one over there.
Are all 3 here?
All 3 are here. There's an interesting story about the Interlagos, which was Alpine at the time. wanted to participate in the Grand Touring category, right? Of Gran Turismo, and there had to be a minimum number of cars, right? To be manufactured in order to participate. That's when they made concessions for the use of the brand. That's when Willy Sovaland from Brazil, with the idea of Mauro Salles, who worked there, bought this project from Mauro Salles to bring the Alpine here. And he was the one who came up with the idea for the name Interlagos. Exactly to reference the brand's name, right?
With the track, right?
With the track. With the track, and also bring in a bit of sportiness, right? Because Willys at the time he was known for outdated cars. Slower, more old-fashioned cars, right?
I see.
So he brought it, and it's a car, it was the first car, the very first car, sports car in Brazil to be manufactured on an assembly line. And also made of fiberglass.
Look how cool that is.
He was the pioneer in that, right? It's a light car, just over 600 kilos. It came out with 4 engine options ranging from 845 cc to 998. And it was a success on the tracks in the 60s, right? Made from 1961 to 1966.
The preservation here is most impressive. Some Interlagos cars are already quite worn out and run down. Here, this standard is hard to find.
It's a collection that has 3 of the possible Interlagos configurations. Just so you have an idea, a car like this, the one who drove it on the tracks was Wilson Fittipaldi and Jose Carlos Parsi, right?
Oh my goodness. Those guys, the first ones, right?
The first people who designed this car for the tracks, right? So these are really unique cars.
That's awesome.
And all of them are functional. Pick it up, start it, and ride.
Leave.
That's why they're here, right? They're not here for nothing. Because it's a car that we usually drive around with.
That's true. Good morning, Rubio.
Good morning, Lucas. It's a pleasure to have you here today with your channel Pegando Oleo, already so well known among classic and vintage car collectors.
Wow, Rubio. It's an honor to be here. I'm really shocked. And I really appreciate you for having me and for allowing these images here and for lending a bit of your time to tell the story of this car, this place in your collection. That's cool. How did all this start?
So, Lucas, first of all, it's a pleasure. I should be the one thanking you for your visit because you help us spread the word about this part of the collecting hobby, which is the preservation of vintage vehicles. Vehicles deteriorate over time, and if they are not restored and maintained, they tend to disappear. And with that, we will lose, if we don't save some examples, we will lose what represented individual transportation in the world in the 20th century, the late 19th, and all of the 20th century. We entered the 21st century, and we certainly won't go beyond the middle of the 21st century. So effectively, within just a few, in decades, these vehicles will be museum pieces. To answer your question, Lucas, this collection is over 50 years old.
Wow.
You don't build a collection like this overnight.
That's true.
It's 2, maybe 3 vehicles a year at most. Some years none, other years maybe 1. More, but it's something that comes with time. This requires the participation of several artisans. There are lantern makers, tinsmiths, painters, upholsterers, chromers, electricians, and so on, to restore an old car. Unfortunately, over all this time, I have already lost several who worked together with us.
Really?
Giving their knowledge, their competence, their friendliness, their dedication, and others have emerged. In fact, one of the main concerns is to train new professionals to maintain this qualification of people capable of restoring vintage vehicles. First of all, it requires a lot of patience, a lot of research. Some vehicles here took 10 years to restore.
Wow.
After the advent of the internet, with the availability of parts and exchange of information between collectors and owners of vintage vehicles, it became much easier, but before it was a real struggle to find things. But as time goes by, more vehicles are added to collections, either public or private, and with that they leave the market. And as they leave the market, the supply not only of vehicles but also of parts decreases, and therefore it becomes increasingly difficult.
That's true. Hey, Ruby, a question about this issue. Did you restore a lot of things or did you buy it ready-made?
No, to be honest with you, I never managed to buy anything ready-made, ready that came. Straight here for this exhibition, where there are vehicles that are 100% restored with complete originality and fully operational.
So you had a lot of work to develop it?
Yes, but that's why I said it's been over 50 years. To be precise, it's been 55 years, and I started when I was just over 15 together with my father, restoring some cars that belonged to our own family, who had kept some pickup trucks, some passenger cars. Those were the first ones, and then others were added, and today we've arrived at this collection. It's a collection that makes quite an impression visually because of this plurality of colors that existed in the 40s and 50s.
And because of its rarity, right?
Because of its rarity. Today, cars, you see, they have 3 or 4 main colors. They're silver, white, black. They don't have this diversity of colors like these cars. So it's beautiful, pleasing, and attractive. It's very interesting. Families come here and the father wants to show his son a car that belonged to his grandfather. And with the grandfather's car, especially here in the pickup truck yard, Brazil didn't have cars. Luxury cars, with very rare exceptions, very few. Brazil had cars within the reach of the American middle class. They were Ford vehicles. Chevrolet, Studebaker, Nash, a little bit above. Buick, very few Cadillacs and Lincolns anyway. And many of these cars were even re-exported to the United States. They were sold in the 60s and 70s.
Did they come back?
They came back.
Really?
There, I had started the recovery process, restoring and rescuing old cars, but not here. They weren't worth anything. So many of them came back. Then came the reverse process, the process of importation. And then, even important cars, etc., for more demanding collectors from then our case, and with more economic and financial availability, they imported high-quality, extremely luxurious cars. And with that, Brazil today has a very interesting classic car scene. But really, it's very interesting. Classic car culture moves a significant portion of the gross domestic product because it's about restoration. There are exhibitions, there are classic car tours that create the need for accommodation, food. They attract people, like now, for example. An interesting exhibition is taking place because of the diversity of people from all cultural backgrounds and social classes at Belo Horizonte's Municipal Park.
We were there yesterday. Pretty interesting.
And you saw that there's a great diversity in the interests of people, especially of the young people who stay there near their parents, asking questions, etc. It's curious that we hear some very appropriate opinions, others totally inappropriate, but they are part of what we call folklore. That surrounds the classic car.
That's right. Rubio, can we step out and check a few things? Can you show us?
We can't.
Let's go. Pickup trucks play a key role in the collection, right, Rubio?
Pickup trucks are very difficult to be restored, to be displayed at this level of restoration because they were used a lot, right? Brazil was built by its roads and by pickup trucks. Luxury cars didn't build it.
Oh, that's right.
So very few were left, and the ones that were left were badly damaged. So the process of restoring pickup trucks is certainly much more complex. I'm going to draw your attention here to this Chevrolet El Camino pickup, launched in the year of 1959, following the launch of the Ranchero by Ford in 1957.
A good rivalry, right?
A good rivalry, a strong rivalry, essentially a luxury Impala with a new body. And it has all the mechanical features, Impala's V8 engine, suspension, etc. So that was all the rage in the United States, and very few of them came to Brazil at that time. I won't say how many, but definitely no more than 10 came.
Wow, very few.
Yeah.
People love this place. Brazilians really love it too, right?
That has a lot to do with it. It's closely tied to the Brazilian family. Brazilian families see that Brazil had most of its population lives in rural areas. Until the 1960s, the vast majority of the Brazilian population lived in rural areas.
That's true.
The relationship with the pickup truck was strong as it was used for transporting the family, but it was also used for transporting goods, produce goods, supplies delivered to the famous fields or farms and more.
Rubio, in a collection of this size, what does it give? The most work besides restoration to maintain. How do you keep it maintained? Because this is a very beautiful architecture, right?
Look, are all these vehicles in running order? Or that is, all of them are able to work and move?
Wow. So it needs maintenance.
We need to keep moving so the tires don't get flat spots. We need to keep moving so that the engines, the electrical system are in working condition. Brazilian gasoline doesn't help because it contains alcohol, and alcohol contains water. It's hydrated alcohol. It's alcohol plus water plus gasoline. And this is very harmful to the engines of cars from a time when gasoline was pure. So what do? First, you try to use a better quality gasoline, which is podium, for very special cars, even airplane fuel. And you need to put in the gasoline you're going to use and then let the engine run until it dies, using up the last drop of that gasoline.
Wow, you have to drain it completely.
That's something you need to be careful about. Some people put their cars on jack stands, drain all the oil from the engine, and so on. We don't do that here because we have this idea that the car is ready to run.
I see.
So the maintenance process certainly requires dedication and care. In addition, the cleaning process, because cleaning these cars requires be professional or you'll scratch the paint. It's not just any cloth, any brush, etc. It's a permanent process, especially in the dry season when there's a lot of dust in the air.
And it's also not a car you can just touch any way you want. Be careful when opening or closing it.
What we ask is that you don't put your hand there. Opening and closing, absolutely not, because the vintage car is sensitive. Can you believe the oldest car here is from 1895 to 1900? It's a motorized carriage. The first one in the United States, still with the French de Dion-Bouton engine. So let's suppose it's 1895, just as a hypothesis. That's 105 plus 23, so 128 years.
Wow.
So you can imagine a mechanical thing from the beginning of the automotive era that's 128 years old. Therefore, it's very sensitive.
You won't find parts for it on Mercado Libre, right?
But it works. Definitely not.
Tell me about this one. This is a really cool car, right?
This is a very interesting car. It's a Brazilian car designed in Brazil by a great designer, Spanish automobile expert Mr. Rigoberto Soller, who designed the Irapuru, built at the Bratinca facilities in São Paulo. There were very few units because at the time it was a very advanced car and also very expensive. It was the first national vehicle to surpass the mark of 200 kilometers per hour. And only a few units were manufactured, and even fewer are still around today.
Is this one powered by a 6-cylinder engine Chevrolet Brazil?
It uses a 6-cylinder engine Chevrolet Brazil, but modified with an American kit. An American kit converted those engines to 3 carburetors. Obviously, the transmission ratios and the differential were all modified.
It was a truck engine, right?
It was an engine that powered the first Chevrolet Brazil pickups, but completely adapted to serve the use of a high-performance car.
I see. Rubio, I have a question for you. I took a walk around the showroom and I identified these cars here, and I don't know if maybe you can answer that for me. I have Lincoln here, we have DeSoto, we have Mercury, and obviously we have the Cadillacs. Can you tell me, or if it even exists, why the name Cadillac stuck more with people over the years?
No, let me tell you. The Cadillac is the quintessential American car in terms of quality. Ford came out with the Lincoln, which became a rival, but the name Cadillac already had made it. It had already created its place in the popular dream. Here's what happens. General Motors, a massive conglomerate in the automotive industry, united several brands early on. The 1920s, it already had these new brands under the General Motors umbrella. The cheapest entry-level car was the Chevrolet, followed by Pontiac, followed by Oldsmobile, followed by Buick, followed by LaSalle, which disappeared later. after the Second World War and ending at the pinnacle with Cadillac. And Cadillac still raised the bar a bit higher with the Eldorado, which existed from 1953 until 1961, if I'm not mistaken. Ford did the same, the Ford, the Mercury, the Lincoln, and in a very short period, for 2 or 3 years, 58, 59, 60, they introduced the Edsel, which is this car right here that didn't have much commercial success. Because of very intense advertising by the competitors, and the Edsel was discontinued. Since the late 1920s, Chrysler was already producing the Chrysler as the top of the line. I'll start from the bottom up. The Plymouth was the entry level, most economical. Then came the Dodge. The DeSoto was below Chrysler, with Imperial above Chrysler. Well, that's it. Those three big industries in the United States, they split into several brands that I just mentioned. Besides that, there were those who weren't the big ones outside of the big three, which were called independents but made exceptional cars, like Hudson, Nash, Studebaker, Kaiser, and so on. So that's the set of American cars. In Europe, of course, England had great brands and still does, led by the famous Rolls-Royce Bentley brand, but also with Daimler, Aston Martin, and with many others, and it had popular cars like Morris, Vauxhall, Wolseley, and others. France had cars, a thriving industry, with Peugeot being the oldest, Renault, Citroën, and things of the highest elite like Bugatti, like Delahaye, like Delage. Germany has always led in Europe before the war with absolutely spectacular brands like Porsche, like Mercedes, like Maybach, the three main ones, followed by others, Volkswagen. After the war, Porsche took on a proportion of top-level sports car, Vauxhall. It closed the German Ford with the Taunus anyway and other brands. Italy started early in the automotive industry, very early with interesting vehicles. Fiat started as an elite vehicle and later under Mussolini became a popular vehicle, but there was also Lancia, Alfa Romeo, the fabulous and exotic Fraschini, which were very exclusive cars. So the United States popularized the automobile, distributed the automobile, but the Europeans produced iconic cars.
We have nearly all these cars here to show today, right?
We have the vast majority of the American ones and a good portion of the European ones.
Who made the best cars? Does that question exist? The American or the European?
I think that individually specific examples of the Europeans, so there are brands that are outstanding, reliable cars. Like the Hispano Suiza, which was the car chosen by Picasso to be the car of his life. It seems only about 3 Italian collectors. Collectors in Brazil own an example of the Isotta Fraschini, this Italian car. The pre-war Lancias were cars. Spectacular, the Lancia Astora and things like that. I'd say Europeans definitely produce some great examples. Much more iconic and much more expensive examples, and much more handcrafted than the American ones.
That's cool. Very good. Can I keep recording here today?
Sure, make yourself at home.
Thank you, Rubens.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Good morning, see you soon. Hey, those watching on YouTube, the pickups are coming. In a little while, we're going to show you everything here. Andre is looking for a Fiat here, which I think is up there. And up there, there are also the older ones, right, Andre?
Yes, they are the most important ones in the collection in terms of the originality of the cars. Also in terms of the rarity of the cars and the brand itself, right? You have Packard, you have Rolls-Royce, you have Delahaye. Almost all the brands are here, right?
That ever existed.
Mostly from the 50s and 60s, right? This car here in particular is a Delahaye.
Wow.
As far as we know, it's one of a kind.
Is there only this one?
There's only this one. And according to Delahaye's own club, right?
Wow. What is the industry here?
This is French.
There is a... Wow, see? That's what I meant by a bad guy car. Look how gangster this is, man.
This car was made, custom made. It was a special order.
It was a special order.
Right-hand drive. You have the suicide door, right?
In the front too?
In the front.
Look at that.
It's only in the front, in the back it's normal. You see the woodwork all done by hand, right? Really unique.
And the colors, right? The whole combination of the car.
Most cars retain their original colors. Okay? The vast majority of the cars. There are some colors. Slightly changed, just a bit. Yeah, for example, we have a DeSoto down there, which isn't the color original, but they painted it salmon to make the car stand out and all.
I see.
But those are period colors, right?
I see. Man, this is one of the most beautiful cars here. Look at this.
A really unique car. You can see the detail of the wheels too.
Yeah. Do you think this is an inline 8 or something like that? 12?
Let me check because I don't remember.
And Andre is good because he's one of the very few who can open and work on the cars.
And inline 6.
An inline 6? I'm not going to make the joke that it's an Opala 6 because that's not cool. It's not, right?
This here is a little bit de layer Paris.
Yeah. Wow, guys. What an automotive delirium this is. And here the standard is more or less from this time period, right? Of the cars here.
Yeah, here it's mostly from the decade of, here it's a bit mixed, but there are cars from the 30s and 40s. You take the Rolls Royces, you take...
This here is also very rare, isn't it?
Yes. This is a Roche.
Look at this.
This Roche was recently restored. A very unique car.
Why?
Because of its rarity. Exactly because there are few units and because of the complexity of restoring this car.
Imagine the work. This car was all brand new, right?
All of it.
Every single part.
Every single part. Can you imagine having to make a fin like this all by hand?
No.
This didn't exist. This was all smashed up.
So you made the creases and everything else?
No! Look at this. The richness of detail in the car.
Wonderful. Do you know where these cars were made? Is it nearby or in Brazil?
This car was imported from Brazil and was recovered here in Brazil. He was used for public transport, right? A jardineira. And then it was forgotten.
Just like people joke around, right? In a barn.
And he was rescued. No one knew it was a Roche. And he came here. He came here and the museum set him up, right? You take it here. The richness of the car's details. Look at the comfort. Everything follows the standards of the time. The woodwork, people often notice the finish but forget the difficulty of crafting woodwork for such a car.
Wood, right?
Wood. All wood. Look at this. Imagine the work to finish it. Deliver. And the client says, all right, that's right. Imagine how hard that is. A suicide door like that. You assemble it, align it. You get the details here from the windbreaker. And look at the difference. For the chauffeur or driver, the seat is leather. A kind of leather. And for the passenger, it's warmer. To make things more comfortable, right?
More comfortable.
There wasn't any air conditioning back then, right? It would stay warmer. There are even cushions inside. Exactly.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at this. It's a Phantom. A Rolls Royce, right?
That's right. Also another rare car.
Also,
There are only a few units as well. A Phantom 2. 1929. You also get an iconic car from that time.
oh my goodness. How many meters is this car, man?
The tire and wheel size is 1929. There's something interesting here. You see the details of the headlights, right?
Look how many. Man, the proportions, the ergonomics of this are way out of today's standard.
Yeah, back then there weren't any roads, right? So you used to drive more in the city and it had to be Big, big wheels exactly to handle it, right? Handle and overcome the obstacles of that time.
Oh my God. It's this Fiat, right?
It's this Fiat I told you about.
Look.
This is what we call a timeless car, right?
Imagine this car today modernized. Wow, it would be ready.
It would be ready.
You put on an LED headlight and stuff.
Exactly.
Put it like this. Exactly. It even reminds me of some modern cars today.
No, he took today's car concepts. For example, I'll give you a detail about the car's door handle here.
Wow, it's built in.
Built in, you see? Something that only exists today. Door opening. I'll take this off so you can see the inside of the car.
Wow, that's different.
You said this is a Fiat Riva, right?
Riva.
Riva?
Ah, yeah.
People always sometimes get confused and use cat, right? But it's a Riva that becomes even rarer, right? Very few survived.
Very few.
This one here, being the Riva, is the only one in Brazil for sure, and I don't know how many there are in the world, but you couldn't count them on one hand.
Very few.
I have to say, I don't know another car like this.
Wow, man, it's an absolute rarity.
It's an unusual car. It's one of the cars I like the most here in the collection.
Is it due to its rarity, design, or a mix of both?
A bit of everything, but mostly because of the design. If you get this back in 1951, do you have a car like this?
And you know what's cool too, Andre? Because it's a Fiat.
Because it's a Fiat.
Because it defies all our standards, like are used to idolizing, and it's a Fiat.
It's a Fiat.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Really different.
You could, oh no, it looks like a Maserati. You could put anything, but you get the Maserati line. You don't have anything similar from the decade that...
Even today, what would you compare to a car like that? It's cool because Fiat has always broken away from standards by embracing differences.
Yes, often and always new.
Even today, right? Exactly. You see the Ford K, what it was at the time, right? Yes. Beautiful, man. That's awesome. Over there we have a Hispano Suiza, which is also pretty rare, right?
This Hispano Suiza, it's a survivor, right? It's completely original.
I saw. Look at this here.
He was exposed right there in Araxa.
Was he in Araxa?
He was in Araxa. In fact, you even filmed him there too.
That's true.
One of your videos. Look at that. Without restoration. And there was even a famous character, right? Picasso himself had a car like this, right?
And he leaves it a little dusty on purpose. Do you think he does it on purpose just to show what?
Yes, but it came like this. Since it came into the collection, it has never been washed. Of course, it's already washed. Since joining the collection, it's remained as it was when bought.
He left it like that.
He left it like that. He made a point not to touch it. Only a mechanical check was done on the car, but upholstery, right? The leather and everything are original from that time.
Look. Unbelievable. Everything that was done.
I'll open the engine for you. The only thing done was an overhaul, right? Not restored, see?
FIOL Barcelona, 1927.
His engine, it was... Let me try to open it here.
Look, that's cool.
Everything follows the standards of the time, right?
Wow, such simplicity. Look at the nameplate. Barcelona, Paris, chassis. Number, wow, man.
And it's a car that's functional. He took it, went over to Araxa on the car carrier, but it bounced around a lot. He maneuvered. He maneuvered there and all. No problem.
Andre, we had a chat yesterday. Oh no, it wasn't you. I think it was with Matthias. He told me that the cars here, he didn't just buy them, right? He had a certain intention for buying each car.
All the cars here have something special with him. He studied before buying the car, right? It's not just any car. He didn't just go buy and bring it. It's not about having quantity or working on vanity. There's that car over there, or whatever the market dictates. One came because of his own taste, because he's a person. Rubio has always liked cars. This collection didn't start now. This collection is over 50 years old. So every car you see here is a car that has a story. And there's a reason why it's here in the collection. So sometimes we take here, for example, when we were here, we think everything there is a Ford 29, right? There, you have a Mercedes, a Fiat, and a De Soto. So there's a little bit of each story inside the museum.
That's true.
That's the intention of having it here.
That's true. Is it correct to say that it started with the watches, or did everything start at the same time?
No. It started with cars, right?
Ah, it really started with the car.
With the car. Rubio began to... He and his father at the time started taking the family's cars, right? To restore them. From an uncle, from a friend who had a different car and all that. And preserving these cars.
I see.
And it's even an interesting fact that the car comes after the watch, right? The watch was collected first. Or even people wanting to have this kind of accessory. The car came second, right? Because everyone always wanted to have a watch to keep track of time, all that stuff. Then came cars, and people started appreciating and owning them. Back in the day, we used to take pictures of cars with the family. It was an event, right? Arriving in a city with a car, or taking the family. Like I came back from the hospital in this car when I was born.
That's true. With my son?
So that's why there's a clock, right? Everything complements each other. The desire for collecting is about having it, right? Having that for yourself.
Andre, I saw over there, man, the Mercury De Soto Cadillac. Do you think when they designed these cars, they wanted to shock people? Or was that just what they did back then? Was it normal?
It's all from that era, right? You only get 1950s cars. If you notice, everything referred back to the post-war era, right? So you take referring the cars to the more aerodynamic part. Going back more to aeronautics, right? So you have cars here, like a Studebaker, which is...
It looks like an airplane. Wow.
Not sure if you saw over there. I'll show you. There's an airplane turbine. The rear window looks like the front window of an airplane. The Studebaker has that too, right? Then you take the taillights, the tail fins, right? The front of the car. Like everything refers back to that era of each one, right? So for example, consider these cars from the century's start. Everything made of wood to get that carriage-like thing. Already moving to the steel part too. That's right. So all of this refers to the phase of that time that the world was in, right?
Very cool. I'm here with Claudiana. She's going to explain to me, more or less, the help that Rubio gives to people here in the region. Right, Claudiana? How does it work?
That's, hello, I am one of the directors, right? ICAF, Rubio's wife, Monica. 10 years ago, she started an institute, right? Here in Carmo da Mata, there's an institute called ICAF, which is Institute of Culture, Art, Responsibility and Environmental Education, which among all these years, right? Building from culture were completed here, starting from art and from the 2 years, I'll say, post-pandemic, more or less, in 2021. Rubio, thinking about helping, right? The Institute. He handled the ICAF visits, the visits here at the museum. For the ICAF, yes, to manage. And the money that's collected here from the visits, it's given to the Institute. And today we have music classes, ceramics, dance, theater, besides the festival that's held here every year, right? The Culture Festival, gastronomy, art, and among other training activities. And what we aim for is the economic development of not just of the city, but also of the region. We see a great potential in the museum, right? That in attracting tourists and newcomers to the city, help attract entrepreneurs and be able to develop the city's economy. through the museum and ICAF sections. This is our main mission today.
I'll give a general overview here with you. I brought Andre. We took a walk around here. He explained. Some cars, I'll go through them. And a few more here, just to be sure. So that you all can also enjoy through the video. What is the space? What is it? Which collection? Buick. Here, it's Lincoln, right? The Lincolns, wow, that really surprised me. These cars, Andre said, he told me about the Hudson Hornet, right? The car from the movie, it's here. I'll show it to you. Right here for you guys. How beautiful it is. Aren't these cars beautiful? He was part of it there. From the movie Cars, that's our ending. Remembering him a little more. Of course, this one here is in the original standard from the factory. Black, look at this. How car position, right? The style. Very beautiful, very beautiful. I'll come back again to this. I realized my lens dirty there. I looked at the lens. There was a white spot there against the light. It bothered me a bit, and that lens catches it. A bit closed off, and I got uncomfortable there. When I was filming that car, that's why I like it. Yeah. This lens, called a fisheye, gives this effect. We can show a lot more and get closer. With the camera, man, it shocked me. In a way, this is so beautiful. Unmatched. I think that I hadn't seen anything like this. What a fabulous car. What an incredible design. Wow, missing words, adjectives to show this here. Wow, look. And look, this one too, with a finish similar, right? With this one here, that, if I'm not mistaken, they call it boat tail, which is boat tail, boat's rear, back of the boat. It makes sense because it has this deck, right? If I can even call it that. The deck back here, right? Our friend Maracy had a car. If I'm not mistaken, it was an Oldsmobile that also had that boat tail, that rear finish, which is almost like a deck for you to dive into the seat, man. So you see the mix of aviation with maritime in the car designs to satisfy the customer of that time, the amount of trims, of finishes, the perfection of all that, man, it's really amazing. Yeah, it's really impressive. Collection of, how many years did he say? 55 years. Edsel. They're extremely rare cars, and I bet that this collection, it's enviable all over the world. Enviable in a good way, okay guys? It's important to highlight here in this video. What matters least here is how much money this guy has, okay? Because it's no use having a lot of money and not knowing how to manage it. Your money, but I even asked Rubio for permission to speak. A little bit of this, the dripping oil, no, don't go after it. From people who have money or absurd collections. Or the most beautiful cars in the world. You know that I'm going to turn the camera here. You know that I like to move around between worlds of vintage cars. I love the countryside, you know, land with tall grass and an abandoned car for us to remove it from that place because it's been abandoned for years. I asked for permission and apologize for bringing this up in this video, for interrupting your video a little, but it's important sometimes to stop, to say this. Finally, because some people watch and comment, the guy has a lot of money, I don't know what. That's not about money. If we're talking about it, it doesn't help at all. You have a lot of money, a lot of things, not knowing how to manage and unsure what to do with all this money and fortune. We've seen people lose because they didn't know what to do with money. How many prizes? Millionaires did the big brothers win? They lost all that money. So here, what doesn't matter is how much money you have. Obviously, if you have a lot of money in cars here, right, very well invested. So be careful with the prejudgments, because that's not about money. Here, what we have, it's much more about preservation, right? I started talking about this because this Edsel, here, extremely rare. So this is enviable all over the world. So we have the stories there. The pickup trucks, I'm still returning there to show for you all calmly. When foreigners find out about the collection, they go crazy. They want to come here, visit. So this here, that the guy created, that Rubio created here, yeah, it's a man. It's something like this, a historical value, and now it's open for visitation. Honestly, yeah, I'm not sure how it is. Visiting here, yeah, getting here, thanks to Andre, but there is, yes, the chance for you all to visit. We're here in the countryside from Minas Gerais in the municipality of Carmo da Mata. A hug to all my friends who surfed with me. They're anywhere in the world. I've traveled a lot to surf. I've seen a lot of miniatures of this Chevrolet Boca de Sapo 51 with wooden doors, miniatures, t-shirts, mostly in California and in Hawaii, where I've already had the pleasure of going surfing. We used to see a lot of this man here and his presence, one of these in Minas' countryside. So cool, the story, I don't know. If it's confirmed, they say that these cars were created, right, for the surfers, really. So they would have less corrosion from the sea breeze. That's why it has many parts made of wood. That was so it wouldn't deteriorate. With time, with the sea air, it's here. Even the surfboard. Up here, a big hug to all my friends from college. When we skipped class to go surfing and do round trips in surfing, those were great times. I miss those days. What a beautiful car. Here, right in front of me. Remembering those times. So many memories and cars. Awesome. I picture you watching this. So many memories. It will bring you many cool things, especially about cars that we don't see, don't know, we've never come across. So this is so valuable. Is I hope that some of you can come here to visit. It's really worth it. There are so many details, so many details. You can get lost for hours. Here's another one with detailed in wood. On the doors, a Chevrolet. Look there, it's wood, 48 details in wood. I couldn't understand. The model of the car, there, Oldsmobile. Look, Plymouth, here, Oldsmobile. Cars that you don't see. Another Lincoln, here, another Hollywood. Look, shall we go in this sequence? There, I'll be back. There, look at that Pontiac. Wow. Take a look at this detail of the logo, the Pontiac logo here. In trim, what material is this here? Look at this here. How beautiful this is. All the cars. The chocks are really perfect. All the seats are lined up. It's not like the seat in my Dart, no, which is all crooked, kind of off. Man, you're crazy. Once again, it's a shame I can't touch it. I don't feel like I have the right to open the doors. I really would like to. Andre already did a little bit of that for us, so that's already something. I'll visit without touching the Oldsmobile cars. Look here at the detailed planes. Look at this one. Look at the detail on this. Another one here. I'm going to walk behind them now. To show you from behind as well, another one. Look at this. This one is an Oldsmobile Holiday. I was really impressed. I didn't expect to be so impressed by these cars from the decade of the 50s and 60s. My preference has always been the 70s. But seeing all of this here, all this history translated here physically for us to see in person, I admit it shocked me. And now, from today on, of course, it's not that aggressive, but talking about this way, but I'm going to see these cars completely original, and even the cars that I like completely original, I'm going to see them with different eyes. And now today, I can understand more and respect much more what we call Z Frisinho. Because, like I said, the Bandit car seems like it's a Z Frisinho's car. The Bandit car that we like to talk about might be here in the original condition itself. Look at this. This here is a Packard. Look at the design of this guy. Look at the turbines in the front. How did these guys draw this out of nowhere? Of course, they had a strong aeronautical foundation to draw from, but it's really impressive. Caribbean. Packard Caribbean, right? Caribbean. Award-winning. Look, obviously this car is going to win an award at some point in its life. I'm going to go back to show everyone the taillights. The Impala's here, look. Belly, wow. Well, I'll just go by the Lincoln Continental one more time, the one that belonged to Schwarzenegger. At that moment, man, I admit the video got a little confusing. Come on, Andre, go back, explain it to me, explain it to the people who were there. I apologize to you guys if at any moment the video froze because of these reasons. If the video ever got a bit dark, sorry, you can't control everything. Hard to say, take a flashlight. It's not exactly like that. Sometimes we just do what we can. You see, I've already changed the lens here several times. The lens was dirty. A boy over there took the lens that was resting, opened it. I was filming, looking down, the kid messing with the lens. I don't know if he touched it with his finger. I later realized it was dirt. It happens during filming. These are the difficulties I face. Sometimes I apologize for small mistakes like that. Pass it to me. I always aim to deliver quality in my videos. Sometimes we can't control things. This Lincoln here, wonderful. What caught my attention was really the set of taillights. Look how cool this is. Very simple. Everything is small. Reduced. Look at the size here. The simplicity of this. Look at the alignment of the whole car. If this isn't an automotive dream, imagine this convertible top opening and closing. And here was the question, how does opening and closing work? Accommodate people here with this counter. With this glass that divides. Bro, you can lose hours, months here. Andre told me that sometimes he comes here with Rubio. And they stay for hours. And Andre even takes out a notebook to learn about the cars. He takes notes and he follows along. What he says. I had already heard that Rubio is a very intelligent person. Very dedicated to what he has here. So he didn't just buy it and brought it. He knows, he goes after it, he studies. He's an encyclopedia. It's dedication. Like this, unique, of a lifetime. Here's the Cadillac LaSalle. Simply magnificent. Now that it's cleared out over there, I'm going to turn around. Behind the cars. Are you seeing this here? Look at the design of this. Look at the grandeur of the front of this car. Imagine this lit up at night. On the road, on the sidewalk. Hey guys, we have a finish. Here, at the rear, the design of this car. Look here. Isn't this amazing? Imperfect jet. Here, convertible. 60 Impala. Another Impala here. Look here. Convertible to a 59. Look at the difference already from one year to the next. From 59 to 60. Belezão. Dear friend, of all the collectors, and look at this guy here. I think it's the only Citroen. That's here. Look at that. How cute. Look at this. Beautiful. That noise. It's them upstairs. They're showing a movie for everyone. Everybody's sitting in the chairs over there. It's a real visit and journey to the past. Look at the Packard here. The Caribbean guy. Look at the design of his whole rear. Wow. Plymouth, and here 2 Nash cars, which are some of the most, what's the adjective for them? They're not just beautiful. What I think is coolest about these models, look how cool. Highway Saint of Kansas, Kansas Patrol, was it really? The coolest thing about them is this right here. Look, the design of the rear fenders. It comes all the way to the front, and the front is completely closed too. Look, almost completely closed here in the front. Underneath, this is so cool. This is a Nash. Look at this. And here, almost the same model here. Look, same thing also in the design. The detail here on the hood is different from this one here. Look at this. Look at this. Stanley Bacher. Another Stanley Bacher. Right? I think I've made this image about 300 times and I won't get tired of it. I hope this doesn't get boring here in your YouTube video. If you like cars, if you're a Brazilian who loves cars, who's always liked them, and now your son likes them too, so subscribe to this YouTube channel on Pingando Olio. If you're watching on your phone, just click the little button here below to subscribe. If you're watching on television, grab your phone, sit on the couch and subscribe now. That's what I've been doing for you guys, to show everything there is about cars, especially classic cars in Brazil and around the world. My idea is to visit these garages, to discover things we haven't seen yet in life, to learn a little more and explore everything that exists in the world. I'm going to take another look around the pickup trucks. Also, to make sure I don't miss too much, I'm speaking softly since Rubio is presenting something. I think it's about the watches. There's a small room over there, a space to show videos. Andre showed this Hudson, and it was really interesting, this car. We can call it a car because it really looks like a car. It has the whole design of a car, as he explained, a Hudson that's already rare, and even a Hudson pickup truck. It has the whole profile, the design of a car. The interior finishes are also super comfortable, like a luxury car, even though it's actually a pickup truck. How are you going to put heavy things in it? How are you going to have the courage to carry a refrigerator here, a sofa, drag a sofa in there? Look at the finishing. Rear fender. It's more a car than a pickup. So this here, guys, that's why I say this is just crazy. It's something you look at and say, man, I can't believe this exists, that it actually existed. Where were we that we didn't see it, right? What a beautiful thing. Imagine showing up at your wedding at one of these, bringing the bride in one of these. Now that's a bridal car. But wait, bringing the bride to the house. Milk samba or inside? Anyway, we passed here by the Dodge pickup. Look at the detail. We showed it for when I passed by here with Andre. I'm going to go through some that I didn't see. Ruby highlighted them, right? Makes sense for El Camino. A car, that man, is an absurd desire. For all of us grown men who like this kind of junk, you wife, if you're watching with your husband, you might not really get our thing. Craziness, but this here is one of the most desirable items in the world when it comes to collecting. And what I mean is that we've been through some things that we didn't show, like this trio of small pickups here, right? Look at this. Sometimes we just get stuck with Zay, the path of life, and look at this here, man. Look. The Ranchero. The Ford Ranchero here, what year is it? 59, look here, check it out. A perfect ride, right? The International, wow, when he showed that International, the interior, I won't keep repeating myself, but it really makes you want to check everything again several times. Another Ranchero. Look how beautiful it is. I don't know if he restored it. And here's another Ranchero. Here, 58. So besides the El Camino, we have this trio of Rancheros here. Look at this cool detail. So guys, it's tough, man. We're left speechless. We feel lost. How interesting that a guy built a 55-year collection with his family. Keeping all of this running, how is that even possible? None of the tires are flat. None of the cars are, looking even a little bit neglected. Ah, this one looks a bit more, no. All of them here look like started the car, took off, went for a drive. One back here, Dodge is over there. Let's get a shot of the trio here. Let's see what we have here, what we can show, starting with the Hudson. It's going to be a bit quick, but just so you can see. The Studebaker is beautiful, isn't it? This detail in the wood to fit even more things, that's awesome. Many of us would say, it's ugly, take it out, Dad. But no, kid, leave it. That's just how cars are. The International, I've seen so many Internationals these days in Minas. Oh my goodness. I even asked why there are so many Internationals in Minas. So many pickups and trucks. I saw a lot, really a lot. By the way, I came here to Minas. What brought me here to Minas was the possibility of visiting the world of Minas. The museum here of Rubio, I had already heard about it. When I said I came here, people responded, wow. Everyone was kind of shocked, you know. So then I took advantage of my coming here and went to Marcelo's at Delino's. I went to the event in Belo Horizonte yesterday to check out Vinicius Cides. So I took advantage of the holiday here, which was yesterday, well, since I'm going all the way to Carmo da Mata in Minas, I'll see what's around here so I can visit. And look, you people from Minas really showed how it's done yesterday at the event I went to. I made a huge video showing everything cool because there are still a lot of things I haven't seen yet. This will give me the chance to come back more often. Here to see more of what you have. Very beautiful. I think I'm interrupting the class over there, huh? I'm talking too loud here. I'm going to end this recording. Look here, huh? I'm not going to end international, no. I'll speak more quietly. It's rare to see Mercury here. Look over here. Custom cab. Here, look. One more with the wood. A vintage item for extra storage. Look at the colors. Beautiful. Photomatic. Look at this. How beautiful things were. Weren't things made better before? It's a slap in the face what the car manufacturers do to us today. We couldn't miss a C10, which is actually a C14 here. 65 here, one of the first. And we couldn't miss two Chevrolet Brazil trucks. Exceptionally original. Impeccable, man. Wow. Very beautiful. Very. One more here, look. This is Chevrolet, right? Look how beautiful it is, man. Here's another detailed one. Was this a factory feature or an added accessory? Or did people add it when they felt they could carry more stuff? And look how cool. There are some art pieces made with car parts. Look. Look at that tangle of wires on the wall. That's cool. Check out the look of this here too. Look. Look at the cans. And judging by the way Rubio collects things, it's very likely that it's vintage. The cans too. Look here, check this out. We always see the custom ones, right? We like to put on rims. Lower it to the ground. They look beautiful too, but yeah. It's so important to see them in their original state. Some people even argue with me, stop with those things. The car has to be original. And I respect that, you know? I respect those words, I really do. Look here, okay? Another one, really original. The F is right here, look. Look at the tires. Extremely narrow. Look at the quality of the dump beds. Wow, look at this. Makes me want to open it, but I won't. Let's spend more time here. Look here. That's important, isn't it? That's really important. This one too, look. High level of customization. They look beautiful, really beautiful. But look, original. Would you customize a car like this? I think I would leave it like this. Look, it's from an auction. Vanderbrink auction. Lotte 41 Ford. Half-ton pickup. Whoa. Beautiful restored Ford 4-cylinder engine. 4 cylinders, no. Auction, look. Bought it at the auction. All handwritten, see? Old school auction. Look at those colors. Black with burgundy. Wow, look at this one. It's a coupe pickup. Wow, look at this Chevrolet. It's truly a coupe pickup. Look back there. That's cool, man. Look at these colors, bro. Brown old car. It's one of the most beautiful things that ever existed in this world. Look, it's also a pickup truck. Look, that's cool, man. Look how far the trunk goes. There's no back seat. Amazing, huh? This is pure automotive delirium. This is a delirium. Seriously? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look over there. There's no back seat. There's a big box that ends right there. Is this the only one in the whole world?
Because here's the thing, there was a series in this color, special, that was made by International. So it was restored and there's no more news about it, right? Maybe there could be, but there's no more news about it in this sense. You have International, but this white color, golden, a special series, no longer exists.
Wow. Andre, what kind of mechanics does it have here?
This is a 6-cylinder inline engine.
Really, look at these colors. Let me open this up. What brand is it?
From International.
International, that's right. Here. Wow.
Yes.
Look at this.
You can see it's inside. It was all golden. Steering wheel, everything. The car as well. The car was like that. This car is extremely rare.
It's not unbelievable.
And this car was also built from scratch. It was made from sheet metal.
Did he do it?
It was made as well. In the raw can. Look at the dumpster. All of this has been redone. All handmade. Sheet metal bent by hand.
Imagine the work that takes. Look,
The stickers too. All of this was handmade. You never see this now. It doesn't exist. All of this was taken from photos. Photo reference.
where was it made, Andre? Do you know?
Em São João del Rei. São João del Rei.
Wow, masters, huh? Masters of restoration. Andre, your pickup truck collection is impressive. What else is cool here?
Wow, the GMCs really stand out. Check out the front of it. You notice some vary by year? You take these 58, you can see that the grille is different from the 55, right? Sometimes people mistakenly think it's a Chevrolet Marta Rocha, but it has nothing to do with it.
It's not, right?
So yeah. You see the grid design term, the drawing.
Very cool.
True.
Look how beautiful.
Rubio is among the few collectors with this GMC variety here.
So some foreigners go crazy when they see these images.
They go crazy and they call here and want to know more about the subject.
Yeah.
And Rubio teaches this here.
He knows a lot, right?
That one behind you is also an Apache. I personally like this car a lot.
This is beautiful.
That aggressive look it has, those lines are more, yeah.
But there's a Marta Rocha here, isn't there? Or not?
No.
No, right? Look at this, a Mercury. That's rare too, right?
These F-75 was family too. It belonged to his sister. It was fully restored and placed there.
Look, among the pickup trucks, there's a Simca, a Chambord. You have to have a car like that. And more international. Man, here in Minas, the amount of internationals I saw, you wouldn't believe. Look at the Studebaker. Look at how charming that is. Look at the front. And of course, it couldn't be missing. A Dodge. And look at the color combination. Bordeaux with navy blue. Look at the other one over there, all green. My friends, what is this? Do you see? All original. All colors. All original, right, Andre?
All original. There isn't a color pattern. All original. I'll even point it out here. There's this Hudson.
Is there a Hudson there?
Yes, it's a pickup truck. From the front, it looks like a regular car, right? Because it already caught people's attention. At that time, a unique pickup truck was made. So much so that it kept what the car had, right? You can even take a look. We have a Hudson here, and you can see for yourself that it doesn't change, right?
A Hornet, right?
That's right. You'd get the period accessories here, like a windshield sun visor.
And you would bring it to the car?
You would bring it to the car. The directional fog light, right? Which became very well known in police vehicles and such. And you get the refinement inside the car. So the luxury continued inside the car.
Oh my goodness. Look at this.
It doesn't have that work truck vibe, right?
Yeah, tough, right?
That was a car for you.
A lot of sophistication too.
You can see the details here on the fender too, with the cover.
It's a car, right, man? Look at this.
Usually it's a car.
Wow, what a beautiful thing. Look at this. Amazing, man. Amazing.
It's one of the cars I like the most here in the collection. There's one with pickup trucks.
That makes sense. Look at this. Look at the detail of the exhaust and the outlet. Look at the tail lights.
And the detail, it drives just like a sedan. It has a comfort mode. It doesn't have that thing of pickup truck bouncing.
I can imagine.
It's not just about the looks, right? No. You have the refinement of a sedan applied to this pickup truck.
Awesome. Incredible.
Do Schwarzenegger when he was governor of California. This car.
Is it true?
True. This car arrived here. It was about to be done. This car here, Cadillac, Alinco. It was from Fred Mercury. Then they all were made. Of course, a lot of parts came from the United States to here. You can still find the parts. And what gave us the most work was adjusting the convertible top. If it has a battery here. Let's see if I can open it here. It won't be.
Look at the detail they have with the passengers here.
But it's a fully electric car. Electric seat. Everything's electric. Let me open this for you.
Are you going to take it off?
I'll take it off here so you can see, man. Make a deal.
Look how cool that is, man.
It's been invaded here. I'm going to do something here. Because these are a bit of a favorite, right? Let's put it like this.
Whose was it, Andre?
It was Schwarzenegger's when he was governor of California.
That's right. Of himself?
Of himself. He bought it from the family. Here.
Look at this, man. Look at this.
And this car, it's convertible top. When you open or retract it, this here is all hydraulic. It stores everything. The entire hydraulic system is here. So here you have 4 hydraulic pumps, one next to the other, and 16 solenoids. Because it opens here, another top comes out like this. The other one has to keep going, the other one goes up again. And there's a rail that goes up to hook on. So the closing system and the opening of the roof, it's very complex. Usually you have to be with the car and everything else. So it's also a car that was restored. It already arrived well aligned. It also has suicide doors, which is another thing that's really characteristic of the car.
Oh my goodness. That society I don't know about. Electric bench. Is he 66? 66.
It's definitely 66. You have to check. There's a lot on my mind.
The license plate is 67.
Some cars here have license plates.
Does she leave there or stay there?
No, this one. No, that's from the car.
It's from the car. Does it stay there?
No, here's the thing. When you're going to put the top on, it does this system here. And this here. This glass here. It folds over here. Did you get it? Then the roof stays suspended here. Support help, see? He resembles Saint Anthony. Because when the top closes, you put this on. And there's something else that comes to indicate here.
Wow, what engineering.
It fits here. And it secures the windbreaker here.
It should go down here as well.
Bring it down.
Bring it down. Now it makes more sense. Move it back. Wow, dude, that's really impressive. People are trying to understand.
She does this here. Let me get it for you.
People trying to figure out how to use it.
Flip the other one. But it's mostly used like this.
But could it also be used for insulation?
Also,
Like a limousine?
like one. Because the idea is to give it the look of a sedan, because usually a convertible is two. Exactly.
The older ones. I think that 59 truck has the same style top. It's a hard top. You know what caught my attention here, Andre?
Hi.
In this car, the tail light.
Yes.
Look at the size. Look how simple this is. Look how subtle this is.
No. And you see how cars are today. You take a look at it. Let's take an example that has nothing to do with the car, but you take the new Land Rovers. They're coming with these,
Okay.
all separated, very small,
Look at this.
grabbing it by the spine.
Look at this. It's really amazing
Now, there's a car over there.
that let's see if you can help us. It's a car. Very different. I'm leaving. For those watching on YouTube, I'll move quickly. And in a moment, I'll show it here. The rest for you. This here, Andre.
This is the car we say it is. Post-war, right? This car, it was a kind of a test in Europe to find out how it is. How the market would react after the war. You experienced shortage of materials. You had shortage of, about fuel. So the car that was built post-war, exactly, to feel it there, the market.
That's cool.
Look here, rear engine, simple, air-cooled, German.
Quite different. NSU. Quite different. Look how cool.
A little car, post-war.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that idea, less is more.
Yeah.
Very minimal in every way.
Right?
Yes, look at its inside here.
Look how cool this is.
Everything is period standard too.
Check this out. That's awesome. A mini Carman Gia.
Yeah, well, right, something like that. Even smaller.
Come here. Look. Side by side. I had one. I asked Rubio, why did the name Cadillac become stronger than the others? Even stronger than Lincoln himself.
Uh-huh.
And he explained a little bit to us.
No, this here is above average too. Right, all blue. No, stay here. The car with the blue interior had a digital clock.
Look at this. An opening. Hold here for you. Wow. Starting with this here. Right.
There was no restoration here. No.
It's the whole car.
Wow.
You have some repainting, but it's the interior. No restoration at all.
Smell that. Man. This car, yeah, I don't know if there are a lot, but we do see some of these in Brazil. Uh-huh. Many were imported to Brazil. It's truly a collector's car, above average in every way.
Yes. Even because of that.
Right? Look at the tail light. And the side, a Cadillac. That's what it was.
Direct competitor.
Direct market competitor. Hey, Andre, what are you going to have here? What's your choice?
Look, man, that's tough.
Look how cool.
Tough. There's vinyl here. Let's put it on. If I'd been 30 years old at the time, this would be the most old man thing. Maybe I would go with the Cadillac.
You would go with the racer.
Yeah. But both of them, today, unsure.
Wow, Andre. It's all registered, the cars.
All legalized. Everything's in order.
There isn't any everything.
The way it has to be.
With the level of restoration, and I'm going to draw attention to another car here that's not very well known. Right.
See, it looks like one. A fishtail, but it's not. You see there's one. It's more subtle here. With these vents here, towards the back.
Wow. What's that?
Very cool. Stop right there. Facilitate air circulation and the air diffusers here.
Seriously, there's something interesting here. Have you seen it?
Look where the gear shift is. I don't know if you've seen the button one.
Ah, that's really cool. Back then, you just pressed a button when you arrived. Wow, that was already the future, right? Exactly. It's a car. Push the button. Right. It's also a car that I really like this, because of, it's because this car is so detailed, right? It's this car that has a certain color variation. That's right. What color was it supposed to be, you know?
I don't know. I don't remember like that. No.
But it was also painted that color then, to give it some style.
Yes.
Similar. Better than the car. Here is one. Here's a Lincoln. 56, Andre.
Yeah. This one is 56. 56.
So many details, man. It's a lot of detail. This is Badola's. What's up? Different color. This is it. This is DeSoto. Sorry about that. No problem. No, Andre, please. I'll go around there. Let me show you some other things here. Open up the interior for us. Because of that interior, look. Oh.
It opened.
Wow. Take a look at this here. Look at this. You say it's the DeSoto Coronado.
Coronado. V8 engine.
Wow. Look at this, man. You could just get lost in this. Wow. This is really cool. It reaches the same line. It is. Totally. Not being a fishtail, that was already becoming outdated then, right?
Yeah.
But always keeping it the upholstery of this car. Look at this. You can get in. The curved dashboard is an interesting feature of this car.
Yeah.
It's a detail, right? Here, that's something that really stands out in these cars, right? Check out the smell of the car. It's also because it's on the button too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very beautiful. What's cool about this car is the front. I don't know if you've opened it yet.
Yeah, between the Lincoln and Cadillac, right? Boxy ones, right? And the closing, right? Of the headlights, Lincoln, right? No, it's square. Already the late 70s, right? Already heading into the 80s. And leaving that thing behind.
The airplane thing, already far behind, right?
Already far behind, already gone.
The car was just a car now, right? The drawing was supposed to be. Now, Andre, this here, that's messed up.
Oh no, that really is.
No, this right here, look, this right here is just too absurd. Mercury, Montclair, Turnpike, olha, the details. Yeah, again, right? The part about the airplane thing.
Airplane, totally.
You get everything. Everything here. Look at this. The back of this car, my friends. You take the back, it's another, and you go. You'll understand at his steering wheel too. He looks like mush. Biplane. Look here.
If you look here.
Let me go first. Bro, look at this right here. Bro, it's really insane. Look so you can see.
Wow, that's true.
Ignore the white part.
Yes.
And just the...
Yes, totally.
except for them from the panel itself as well. Instrumentation. Look how cool that is. Transmission 2. Button. The window too. Very curved. Here's the windshield. Glass. Moldings. Look at this here. Look at this here. Look at this detail back here. Man. And then continuing, coming to the drawing here, look. That noise is from him putting the cover away over there. Look at this. Wow. Look at this. This light is getting in the way a bit. Look. Wow. I'll go around there to show it again because this is just unbelievable. Look, I cut a little bit off of them. I'm going to show you the Hudson Hornet, which is from the movie Cars. It doesn't have a paint job. It's all original. Everything here is original. I'm stuck, man. I'm completely stuck in this car. Since the moment I got here, I can't break free from this look, from this image. I hope you understand. I'm gonna get a little cold in this car. So you can also enjoy a little of what this design is. What made the guys go crazy when they designed a car like this? What colors, design, perfection, so beautiful. Everything here, there's nothing to change here, right? Or you'd put wheels here. It would lower it even more. I would put some modern wheels on it, just the wheels, that's it, all right? Let's just put different wheels on here to show up at the meets. Then you say, cool, let's go to the meet, man. Can you imagine the kind of responsibility that is? Putting a car like that on the street, on the road, whatever, anywhere. Imagine the responsibility of driving a car like that on the streets. And then we go even further. You can imagine the feeling, which it shouldn't be, to have something like this in your hands for a few minutes or hours. Walk, drive, feel. The cars sway. Feel the car in your hand. The comfort, man, yeah. I think it's the car I like the most. Of course, you guys. Each of you will have your own preferences. But this one caught my attention the most, that I freaked out about the most. One of the most beautiful ones. Amazing. Thanks. This car has two details here.
It's been worked on here. But here's the thing. This car, back in the day, it has an adjustable steering column, which it didn't have before. This car requires maintenance. But there's an adjustment where the steering column goes up and down. That's something this car didn't have before. And this symbol, which is on this steering wheel here, I don't know if you guys will recognize it, but it's the symbol of the Indianapolis 500.
Indianapolis?
There's this detail on the car.
And was it really his?
It was really his. He left here.
Cool.
Now imagine a car where you could adjust the steering column.
Back then.
And here's the thing. It uses the mechanics of the Dolphin. There's a Dolphin inside. Did you guys see it? Look, Lucas.
That's true. I'll show it over there.
And it used an 845 to 998 engine.
Basically, it's a 1.0 engine.
And it reached 165 per hour.
Look how cool that is.
But it's heavy. I don't know. A car like this weighs about 600 kilos.
That's true.
I really like this car too.
It's really cool.
It's hard for you to say, no, which one do the one I like the most, which one would I take home? No, everything is nice. 4-speed gearbox. Well, now the Arapuru up there has a 3-speed gearbox, but you can drive 100 km/h in first gear. It's pretty stretched out.
All right, Andre.
I don't know which one you'd have from here.
But which one would you take from here today to go for a drive on the road out there?
Irapuru. Yeah.
Look, he really likes Irapuru.
Irapuru?
It must be cool to drive, huh?
Delightful. The Irapuru and SP2 are cool. The Fit Coupe and another car have different styles. But for driving pleasure, the Irapuru.
Wow, that's cool. A domestic car. Well made. So many things here. Look, it's here. You were talking behind you. Alasala, right, man? This is from such a beautiful cartoon. Cadillac, man.
Yeah.
Check this out, man. What is this, Andre?
The Cadillac is gold, and that's not by accident. This is all gold, right?
Gold-plated. And the wheel, too.
It's not a hubcap, it's a wheel.
Is this gold-plated? Gold-plated.
Look at the details on the wheel. People think it's a hubcap, but it's not.
It's a wheel. Is that a wheel?
There's only this little hubcap here. If you get really close, you'll see there's no wheel at all. Not even that wheel people think is from the Ford Edge, right? That chrome hubcap.
No, it's not.
This is a real wheel.
Cadillac is the gold one with multiple versions, right? It has crossed many generations. Look at this here. 56.
This is beautiful. Matching with green. It stayed.
Wow. Look at the detail here. Man.
Again, right. Bringing back the whole era, right? From aviation and all that. From the 50s.
Look at the seats inside. The comfort of that. There's not a single seat that's even a little more crooked than the other.
Everything is aligned.
It's in perfect condition, man.
Let's take a look here.
No way. It's just too absurd.
The details here too.
Look at this. Look at the color inside.
This one hasn't been restored either. No upholstery, nothing. It's all dashboard, all original from that time.
He bought it and brought it. Unbelievable, man. This is also one of the cars I like the most in the collection. Unbelievable. Look at this Jaguar here. Look how beautiful this is. And I'm going to take you to a little workshop that's in here to show you what's there. And where some of the maintenance is done here, look how beautiful it is. This photograph of the two of them here, Jaguar. Look at the cabin. Look at the design of this car. Isn't it beautiful? Wonderful. Different from everything else. From what we're used to seeing, and I find it really interesting, the SP2 side by side here, with the Jaguar looking great. Next to an Alpha, look how interesting the arrangement of the cars is here. It's no wonder the SP2 is such a huge success among collectors. Very interesting. I'm going over there to a place we haven't been yet, where I haven't been there with the camera, because there's a special car there that we're going to be able to check out. Many brands in one place. He has them on display here. There's another showroom inside. I'll take you there in a little while. Another Cadillac here. Mercedes, some cars. There are some photos of family. Of course, I don't know to say who they are, but I think it's interesting because that shows the memories he has of his family, the relationship that he has with cars. So it's not just something he bought, he collected them and put them here. There isn't a lot of love involved. Look how cool. Look at this. I'm here on the red carpet of cars. It looks like the Oscars for cars. When it comes out finished from the workshop, it goes down the red carpet where it can drip its first oil. Take a look at this. 1923. Look at a kind of brochure. Look how beautiful. How neat. It's here. Some batteries here. An elevator. Look, here she is. Look at this Dodge pickup. Me, unfortunately, or fortunately, it's out of order. You can see it. You can see it there through the grate. I can't open the cars. I'm not going to open them. It's not because I saw Andre opening them that I'll feel entitled to mess with them, to put my hands on them, to open them. You saw Rubio talking? It's really not to be opened. You're not supposed to touch it because they're delicate cars. Exactly. That's why it was great to have Andre there, because he has that closeness so he can work on the cars, open them and all that. Unfortunately, I won't make it to that level, but we can keep going. Showing you a lot of pieces. Andre was explaining to me, Rubio travels often abroad to attend the events, to buy parts. He makes an inventory of the missing parts, to assemble the cars, to keep the cars up to date. And he travels a lot to buy the parts that are missing for each car. That's cool. Imagine how many people complain about our restorations, that this is missing, that is missing. Imagine maintaining all these cars in working order, up to date. Look at this Opel. 36. Look at this Opel. This is so cool. Some decoration items. The architecture is impressive. I don't know if you guys could tell from the video. There's this floor with a workshop in the back. This lobby, giant warehouse, huge. That houses most of the cars. Here, several different brands. Fiat, back there, Mercedes, Chevrolet. What is this here? Overland. Look how cool. Overland white. Chevrolet over there. Look here. How cool. Wow. A De Soto. Look at the colors. Look at the details. Chrysler. Right-hand drive. Look at the vintage ad. Car enthusiasts prefer Chrysler. That's right, Dodge in the blood. Malter and Company Limited. What year is this? That's beautiful. Santos Commerce Street, São Paulo. Arauch Square. Good stuff. We're getting old. That's awesome. That's crazy. Going back to architecture. We have it here. Look how cool this is. This door leads to the street. These are the cars we arrived in. There's a floor, upper one over there, of the pickup trucks. And up there, maybe the rarest cars. The oldest ones. And up there, there's the watch collection. I'll go there and show you too. But first, I'm going to come here in this entrance hall, because there are other cars here too.
It was made here. According to the photo itself here, our late Itamar Franco.
At the reopening of the Beetle assembly line.
So 3 of these cars were made by Suleiman's in the Volkswagen factory. And this is one of the three. One is with Itama's family. The other is at the Volkswagen Museum. And this one is here.
An Itamar convertible.
There's nothing modified. You can see it's all the seats. It was a used car, like a regular car to drive, and he bought it. Bought and restored.
To stop running.
There's some wear on the steering wheel. Something like that. A little bit of mold here.
Very little.
But it's all original from the car.
That's awesome. And here?
Vemag.
That's it. Look how cool.
You know, this engine is two-stroke.
It's two-stroke here.
Let me see if it's open here. Look up ahead.
Bring the suitcase here. That's true. And that's how it is.
So many cars. Sometimes we get a little lost.
Look at the Itamaraty limousine.
This is Itamaraty. It has an interesting story. This car belonged to the presidency of the Republic. It belonged to the presidency of the Republic. And Queen Elizabeth, she rode in this car.
She got a ride when she came. They went to dinner in it. Look at that. That's really cool. What is that? It's part of the story of our life here. And it's chassis 001. Are you serious? Because it was made especially for the presidency. That's very exclusive, guys. It's very exclusive. The chassis is over there. Let me shine a light over there for you. This is very exclusive. This one, 001. 001. São Bernardo do Campo, São Paulo. 001. I've never filmed a car. Here for you, Friends of Pingando Óleo. Chassis 001. Limousine. This is really cool. Do you know how we bought this car? Was it at an auction or similar?
It usually is. Or it's usually with some collector. Because of the car's auction at that time. It was many years ago. It usually does.
From our auction?
Or from a collector. Trade with a collector.
Wow. Queen Elizabeth rode in this car. They went out for a ride. One more here. This is the first hall when you come in. Here's from the collection.
This is a Quintarelli. This one is Dolphin. People say it's the... This is the engine used there. In Interlagos.
That's right. And look inside. How cute. So well preserved. Very beautiful.
And there's a car here too. At the time of Alfa Romeo's transition to FNME, which is just kidding. When you look at it like this, it seems like it's an Alfa.
An Alfa.
But it's actually a just kidding. It's a tribute that FNME made. You take it here, you'll see here.
FNME and Just Kidding. With Just Kidding's signature. Look at that. Look where the rear view mirror is. Wow, that's cool. What an amazing place. Guys, all of this is really shocking. It's really shocking.
Lucas, I'm not sure if this will work for your content too, but here are some suitcases. Period accessories. So for example here, you take this original Varig suitcase.
Look, how cool.
As a crew member, this one is from Pan Am. Let me see here, it's from Pan Am.
From Brazil, original. He even laminated it. Look at the can of Coca-Cola.
So there are things that are these accessories. Rubio really likes these collections. Period accessories. So there's a lot of that. All these bombs are fully functional. Functional for their time. It doesn't have the bomb itself. The shell, but they're all bombs that worked at the time.
Actually used.
Buying them one by one. The bicycles themselves as well. These are rare on their own. You have Peugeot,
Anyway, and
We're going to the museum. The cars attract attention.
we forget. We forget. There's a lot here.
There are people who are passionate about old things that remind them of
Of antiquity.
even the family's history. My grandfather had one of these. Some accessory, ornament.
The bicycles are beautiful. Dude, look at this. Now clearly Rubio is a traveler.
Yeah, he usually spends 3 or 4 months outside Brazil, traveling.
Around.
Not necessarily by car, but he always brings something. He is a historian.
He likes it.
He's a car enthusiast. He likes automotive history.
He knows.
There's always a reason behind it.
The guy is dedicated. Look how beautiful these ones are. A little more modern.
More modern. This watch right here, that is here.
Rubio brought it.
That is over there on the other side. That one, this mechanism.
That is up there on the wall. I saw it. At the time, this was the world's oldest still operating.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, very different.
I'm going around because the people are over there. Let's go this way. Look at this hall. So many watches. Look at this one.
Here's another view of the museum. If you want to go this way,
We recorded here with him. I'll walk through it so you can understand. The construction of the place. The other cars are up there. Let's see if it's open here.
thank you, Andre.
Thanks. Go on.
Here's an interesting case. This watch here, there's this image here, Dom Pedro I. This is the well-known image, but it was taken from this clock.
The painting of him that we see everywhere.
All of them, from this photo, from this image, coming from this clock.
Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
There's another interesting case, though, this watch here as well. It belonged to Napoleon Bonaparte's office. In fact, he's even carved here.
Wow.
Not carved.
In gold. That's crazy. And it goes far.
It does. That's a little piece of history.
Andre explained it to me that the numbers on each clock, he numbered them because there were so many things. So he can know where the clock is from. What is the story of the clock and why it ended up here? At the museum, like the cars, he didn't just purchase them.